Well, RDOT crews are working to get ahead of a winter storm system this week. We'll show you how they're preparing. Plus, deadly weather sweeps through the south. We'll take a look at flooding and high winds and a story of survival.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at noon.
Well, thank you for joining us for your 5 News at noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with Chief Meteorologist Scott Covert. There's a lot to talk about this week with the weather.
There is so much weather to track. Let's get straight to it. We'll waste no more time. Let's get you prepped with what you need to know ahead of this big, impactful winter storm. We're calling for a 5 News weather impact alert. And here's the thing. This is a 1-2 punch. So our alert will start at midnight tonight, and I don't anticipate letting it up until at least Thursday. I may have to extend it over into Friday. We've got winter precipitation coming in, and that's going to cause a lot of issues out there, especially on the roadways. But it's not just wintry precipitation. We're talking some dangerously cold temperatures that are certain to follow this system going into Wednesday and Thursday. High degree of confidence. We're going to have travel issues. We're going to have closures. In fact, I think they're already starting to come in. Extreme cold. We're talking coldest temperatures of the season. No question about that. Perhaps it may not be this cold for quite some time. Power outages, I'm going to keep that relatively low in the forecast. I can never rule it out entirely, but I think overall we're not looking at enough ice accumulation where we are expecting ice to promote that potential. Could change, but right now I'm feeling okay-ish about it. Somewhat of a mild day out there right now. This is a good day to get your home winterized. If perhaps you haven't done that already, maybe you need to just review things, make sure everything's still neat and tidy. Maybe you need to run a few errands. It's somewhat mild out there. I hate to say 30s and 40s are mild, but that's certainly the situation we're looking at right now. 32 Springdale, 36 Alma, Waldron reporting 41 degrees. By this afternoon, I can expect many of us to be in the 40s, if not some low 50s. Places like Poto out there, Van Buren, Fort Smith, Ozark, let's plan for 48, 46 your high temperature in Fayetteville, probably warming up to about 44 in Bentonville and Rogers. We're going to be tracking a lot of weather, the latest timing, the latest amounts, and then we've got to look at those wind chill values. I'm telling you folks, some folks very well wake up Thursday morning 20 below zero. Those are the dangerous wind chills we're tracking. Details on that here in just a few.
Thanks, Scott. And the 5 News Weather Impact team is here to help you prepare for the winter storm. If you have questions, you can text them to Scott at that number right there on your screen, 479-785-5000. He'll take the top questions and answer them tonight at 6:30 on 5 Plus. You can learn how to download 5 Plus by scanning that QR code right there on your screen. 5 Plus is available for Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. And new at noon, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders declares a state of emergency ahead of the winter weather. The declaration is issued to help local, state, and federal leaders quickly deploy resources and supplies during the winter storm. The state of emergency will remain in effect until February 24th. And to get ahead of this week's storm system, RDOT crews started pre-treating secondary roads over the weekend. They finished pre-treating primary roads, bridges, overpasses, and the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Crews are pouring multiple layers of salt brine on the roads throughout the week since it's a liquid and it will wear down over time.
Even though the temperatures are supposed to be pretty low, it still will wear down a little bit. So we're just trying to get that salt brine into the deepest parts of the roadway and the bridges so that, you know, when we get the storm on Tuesday morning through Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then those temperatures really begin to fall, that we've got as much possible treatment as we can.
Parker says road crews will keep pre-treating until that storm comes. And with dangerously cold temperatures in the forecast, several warming centers will be open in the area. In Fayetteville, Seven Hills will operate multiple locations, including Genesis Church and Jefferson Elementary. In Fort Smith, Hope Campus and the Salvation Army downtown will also be available as warming centers. And for more information about places to go to stay warm, just text the word warm to that number right there on your screen. We'll send you a link with a list of warming centers and other important information. And here's a reminder of some things you should keep in your car in an emergency kit. Make sure to keep a full gas tank in case you're stuck on the road longer than planned. Jumper cables, a first aid kit, charger, a flashlight, flare, snacks, and water. And don't forget these items to stay warm, like boots, mittens, hats, a blanket, and even a snow shovel. Well, at least 10 people are dead after a series of storms wreaked havoc across the South. Heavy rain, flooding, and tornadoes hit multiple states. Jared Hill has the latest.
This morning, ongoing concern after torrential weekend rain led to intense flooding across the South.
It's all in the roads in front of our house.
From West Virginia, where this car was seen coasting through floodwaters, to Tennessee and Kentucky, swollen waterways created dangerous conditions for thousands on the roads, prompting this warning from the state's governor.
Give time for the water to go down. So many of these fatalities were due to attempts to drive through water and through moving waters.
At least 9 people were killed in Kentucky. Among the dead, a woman and her 7-year-old child. Further south in Hale County, Alabama, the National Weather Service confirmed an EF1 tornado touched down. Mobile homes destroyed, but no lives lost. But in Atlanta, Georgia, one person was killed when a tree fell through their home early Sunday morning. In the Midwest, winter weather caused headaches on the road. In Chicago, a woman had to be taken to the hospital after her car plunged into an icy Lake Michigan. An amazing story of survival in Colorado, where a driver survived an avalanche.
A few people were kind enough to come down and throw me a rope.
Back east, communities hit by wind and rain are bracing for another weather issue. Bitter cold. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Parts of Kentucky are expecting another weather system in the coming days. The governor said the main concerns are strong gusts of wind, which could uproot trees and loose waterlogged soil. And steep cuts in the federal workforce are leaving thousands of employees without a job. At least 1,300 people have been laid off at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. More than 1,000 employees have been cut from the Department of Veterans Affairs, and thousands of probationary workers across multiple departments received termination notices last week. Among them is a Navy veteran based in Nevada, fired from the Department of Education.
Government reform can be a good thing, but it's not good to take broad sweeping actions that don't take into account people's lives, their performance, or, their service to this country.
The job cuts are being challenged in the courts. They're part of at least 70 lawsuits the new Trump administration is facing. And police are asking for your help here at home, locating a woman who went missing 9 years ago. Tammy Jo Threlkill disappeared on the morning of February 16, 2016, near Siloam Springs. Over the weekend, the Benton County Sheriff's Office shared this photo with the details on her disappearance. She was last seen standing near a wooded area by her home on Bollinger Lane in southern Siloam Springs. Investigators say she hasn't been seen or heard from since. If you have any information, you're asked to reach out to the Benton County Sheriff's Office. And it's been about 2 weeks since an Amber Alert was issued for a missing Wisconsin girl, believed to be with an Arkansas man. 16-year-old Sophia Franklin has been missing since February 1st. Investigators believe she may be with 40-year-old Gary Day, who's from Lonoke County, Arkansas. Sophia is also pregnant, and they believe Gary's the father. Amber Alerts have been issued in Wisconsin, Missouri, and Arkansas. And here's a look at a photo of the car police believe they could be in. It's a 2014 black Buick LaCrosse sedan that could have Arkansas or Pennsylvania plates.